What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to MentorTCG. I'm excited to bring to you our very first Yu-Gi-Oh box opening, and we're going to be doing this with Tactical Masters. I originally wanted to do this not until Darkwing Blast comes out come October, but there wasn't really much going on in the month of August. So what I wanted to do is just bring something out of the ordinary. We've been focusing on Yu-Gi-Oh, and Digimon up until this point, but at some point I wanted to jump back into Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is where I started off playing card games. I played a few card games since then, but this is my roots at least. I still have my original deck. When I retired from playing competitively, and I kept that alone. I sold everything else, but now I wanted to jump back into it and see what's going on with the meta. Things have changed drastically. I was only playing up until the beginning of XYZ monsters with X Sabers. That's actually the deck I've been playing. Maybe I'll do a deck profile later, but that's something I have very close. It's near and dear to my heart. That deck alone, I just wrecked every single time. I wouldn't get first place, but I was always top four. I was a strong competitor within my my local shop, and just had a lot of friends. All my friends are from there. But jumping back into Yu-Gi-Oh, Tactical Masters isn't the original series of booster boxes that are coming out. This is actually based off of the deck build pack Tactical Masters from the OCGs. It just came out back in earlier this month of Power of the Elements, which is part of the original booster packs that always comes out. The next one is coming. That's coming is Darkwing Blast in October. That's the one I want to jump on, just because when I was playing Darkwing, what was it? What's the name of the Black Wings? Black Wings were the actual card archetype that's actually been taking over stores, and it's always difficult to play against them. But mastering X Sabers, I was able to get over them, and I always make it to the top four, if not take the whole tournament, or your weekly tournaments at your local shop. With that said, I'm not sure how it's going. On the competitive scene. Let's go ahead and open this box and start doing this. But sooner or later, we are going to be starting opening up, meta decks and looking into different archetypes and everything. But this one here, because this is based off of one of those dual build packs, deck building packs. Man, this is really not wanting to come off. It's glued onto the actual box. But this Tactical Masters introduces the Valence, Labyrinth, and Runic archetypes. And that's Yu-Gi-Oh's theme. They're always coming up with new archetypes, new engines, if you will, of how to play the game, and what cards work with others, and combining those engines to actually make a OTK deck. And that's my understanding of how the series is played right now. How Yu-Gi-Oh is played right now is that you're only playing 2 or 3 rounds, 2 or 3 turns, and then you already know who's going to win the game. So pretty much you're just milling, well, not milling, but you're going towards the next game, because it's always best of 3s. And then what you want to do is use your side deck in order to gain an advantage within your tournament. Then you got your extra deck on the side. Your ritual monsters come from there. Your fusion monsters, XYZs. I love Synchro. That was where X Sabers really resided on, and that was a lot of fun. But with that said, let's go ahead and get to opening. I haven't done a Yu-Gi-Oh box opening. Actually, I did. I went through the rest of the case, but this is a final box, and I'm hoping I can get something good. So far, what we got good out of the rest of the boxes are these 3 cards. These are your collector cards, and the textures on this is really, really nice. This is Astrograph Sorcerer, and I didn't play Pendulum, but from my understanding, Pendulum, you can play it either as a spellcaster monster, or you can also play it as one of your Pendulum spell cards. So if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you had your 5 monster zones, and then following that you had your spell zones right behind that, below that actually. But your far left and your far right are your pendulum zones, and that's where you have this guy, the blue on the left and the red on the right side. I think I still need to do a little bit of studying about how that actually works. And you can see here, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a lot of text that comes along with it. I'm not going to go too far into it, but this is Astrograph Sorcerer. It's an 8-star pendulum effect monster. And here we got a collector's rare, lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. She's a fiend. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-star Labyrinth monster. Attack is 2900. And what this is your opponent cannot activate monsters' effects in response to the activation of your normal trap cards. That's pretty cool. You can only use each of the following effects of Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle once per turn. That's pretty normal. Within Yu-Gi-Oh, it's a once per turn basis. You can target one normal trap card in your graveyard, set it to your field, but it cannot be activated unless you control a fiend monster. So, looking at this, you're probably going to want to play a lot of fiends in this deck. Might not be a Labyrinth monster, but maybe it is. Fiend monster. If another monster leaves the field by your normal trap effect, except during the damage step, you can destroy one card in your opponent's hand at random or their field. So that's pretty cool. It kind of has the effect kind of like discarding from their hand, but it destroys it. And that you actually have to read into the text and understand word for word when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. Pretty insane. That means a lot because it destroys it and you can probably block it. And we also got Scapegoat, one of the older school, a really old school card here. Scapegoat. This is a quick spell card. When you set this, pretty much when you can activate it like a trap for the next turn, or you can play it right from your hand, during battle or whatever. Special summon 4 sheep tokens. So sometimes you want to have a couple of token cards on hand when you're playing this game at least. Those tokens are Beast, Earth level 1, attack 0, defense 0. So that really, when you set them to defense is normally what you want to do. Special summon, you have to have them up, but your opponent can attack your life points directly. They have to either pierce through them or get rid of all your scapegoats first. In defense position, they cannot be tributed for a tribute summon. You cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. So you gotta remember, if you scapegoat, it has to be during your opponent's turn because of course you're not going to be summoning that turn, or you can't summon anything else. So these are the 3 collector rare cards that we received in this series so far, and I opened up 11 boxes, hoping I want to get at least one more. That's the pricey of the cards, and being a seller as well, I want to make sure I make my money back and everything. All right, let's get to this. I know we want to move 4 to the front to make the most rare card in the back. So we're gonna have Book of Eclipse, another card that I didn't play, but I do know of the card. Labyrinth Coup Clock, that's a new card for the Labyrinth series. Senate Switch, we have Labyrinth Chandelier. So it's a dragon chandelier. You got your Pendulum Switch, so you'll switch both pendulums. You have your bear blocker, and we have our Valence Buster Baron. Valence is a nice looking archetype. It seems like it's to do with a lot with machines, but it also it looks like it's what's it called? It kind of looks like Dynasty Warriors, kind of, those kind of guys as your monsters. Pretty cool. So we got Astrograph Sorcerer again. Now this is your rare, and actually in Tactical Runic Slumber, actually in the series, all these cards are rare, and that's why we only have like 7 cards per pack. On top of that, you have a various amount of super rares, ultra rares. Those are pretty normal, but your collector rares are the most that you're gonna get out of this box. You have Absolute King Back Jack, Invader of Darkness, and another old school card. Seon, the Vaylance Archer. Yeah, these guys look pretty sick. I love the artwork on these guys. Pendulum Fusion, another fusion card for Pendulum. And we got Runic Flashing Fire. So for Runic decks, activate one of these effects, but skip your next battle phase after activation. So there's a little backlash on that. Target one special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So that has something to do with banishing them. Banish them to the Shadow Realm. Special summon one Runic monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. You can only activate one Runic Flashing Fire per turn. So a quick spell, you can activate it at the very end of your opponent's turn, and then you won't be able to attack, but you'll be able to play these right off the bat. Sometimes, and this is what I've noticed, sometimes it's hard to open these packs for YuGiOh, sometimes not. But another thing is, this is a little bit disappointment on my end, is I've seen a lot of the cards already damaged, and I just opened up the box, and that's a little bit of disappointment as a buyer and as a seller. But what can you do? YuGiOh, make it protect your cards more effectively. Fair Welcome Labyrinth Stovey Torby. We have Cosmic Cyclone. This is a quick spell. Pay 1,000 life points, then target one spell trap card on the field and banish it. You don't just destroy it. It can't go to the graveyard, and they can't pull it from a graveyard. It's banished. This is another Imperial Iron Wall, another order card. Neither player can banish cards. I had to use this. Fiendish Griefing. I had to use Imperial Iron Wall at a given point because everything was getting banished from my deck. I hated that. Runic Spinding Storm, and we got Runic Golden Droplet. Golden Droplet is another super rare here. You can tell that the super rare has a shiny background in the art. And that was the same thing as Runic Flashing Fire. Your rares have the silver lettering. But this is activate one of these effects, but skip your next battle phase. So there's a lot of skipping when it comes to your Runic archetype. Your opponent draws one card, then you banish the top 4 cards of their deck. So you're really milling your opponent's deck a lot with the Runic series. So if you could go through their deck, you only have a 40 card deck, and if you're hitting these a lot, you're throwing a lot of their cards away that they're trying to play out to attack you or to defeat you. Special summon one Runic monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. You can only activate one Runic Golden Droplet per turn. So most likely I think you're going to be running 3 of these things, as well as the Flashing Fire as well, if you're running the Runic deck. That's pretty cool. I think we might not be doing a lot of box openings. If anything, if we're going to be selling, let me know how you guys feel about it. If you guys like the box openings, or maybe we'll talk more about archetypes. This is the first of it, so I'm really coming into this just having fun, and the nostalgia of going back to the card game that actually got me into a lot of the TCGs. Then you sit there with your friends and they're playing other TCGs. You're interested in them, and then you're curious and you watch them play, so you want to jump in on it as well. So that's what YuGiOh did for me. We have Malice, Lady of Lament. So this is not part of any archetype. This is a quick effect. You contribute 2 monsters, then target one of your normal traps that is banished or in your graveyard. Set that target, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. So you can activate your trap card, and then it goes to the bottom of your deck. You can only use this effect of Malice once per turn. That's pretty good if you're running a lot of traps in your deck. Anti-Spell Fragrance is another old school card. You got Labyrinth Archfiend. And what I'm really interested in is a lot of the runic cards here. Just reading through them really has got me interested in them, especially the all the ultra rares that we've been pulling. Each time a quick play spell card activates, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. You can only control one runic allure. So even though if you run 3 of these, you can only have 1 on the field at a time. We have Valance Mad Marquez, Mizuki the Valance Ninja. He looks pretty dope. I love the artwork on this guy. I do need to read into them, see how the Valance is doing. I do know that a lot of these, they do get additional support when it comes to the Darkwing Blast that's going to be coming out in October. And then we got Labyrinth Setup, another super rare card. Looks pretty sick. Alright, let's go faster into these because I've been talking a lot, and it's not really been about opening packs, and that's the reason why we have this video up today. Valance Dominator Duke, another machine, and we got our first ultra rare, and you could tell it's ultra by the super rare, the super hollow. The name of the card is actually in gold, so that's how you know it's an ultra. Hugin the Runic Wings. So a lot of what I've noticed is a lot of the runic monsters are actually fusion monsters. So this is a fairy, and you need 2 runic monsters to fuse into her. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard 1 card, add 1 runic field spell card from your deck to your hand. If another card you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card you control instead. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, return this card to the extra deck. So it just pops back to your extra deck, unless it's banished. Pretty cool. We got Labyrinth Chandelier, Lilith Lady of Lament, another lady. Compulsory Evacuation Device, one of my favorite cards back in the day. Target 1 monster on the field, return that target to the hand. Runic Dispelling and Duelist Alliance. I remember using this card a lot against when Gores first came out, the Emissary of Darkness. And that kind of dates how long I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh back in the days. Man, it's been a while. We have Astrograph Sorcerer, we have Trap Trick, Valance Voltage Viscount. This guy looks bulky, dude. Senate Switch, you got your Pendulum Switch, Quick Booster, and Valance World Shinra Bansho, another super rare. So at least you're getting super rares across the board in every pack. But what you're really looking for, and when I'll pause when we get to that card in this series, because there's only 1 good card out of the rares and the super rares that you're really looking for out of this. We got Scapegoat. We have Labyrinth Stovey Torby. Reckless Greed, this is a fun card, fun old school card. Labyrinth Chandra Draglier, yeah. Mizuki Valance, the Valance Ninja, and this is the card you're looking for as a rare, or if you got the collector's rare, even better. With Droll and Lock Birds, it's a spellcaster effect. If a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, except during the draw phase quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. So if they're about to draw an extra card, not their draw phase, you can send this to the graveyard from your hand. And what happens is, for the rest of this turn, cards cannot be added from either player's main deck to the hand. And there's a lot of chain effects when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! So you want to make sure that before they even draw, you play this card. So this is a chain effect 1, and then theirs becomes chain effect 2. So this activates first so that they don't draw that card, which is very good. You know, you won't, if you are playing that, I'm not sure if you want to be playing 3, but it is a very good effect Maybe it's a side deck card for your, whatever deck you're running. Another runic golden droplet. And these guys don't really open well. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Getting a feel for all these different trading card games, TCGs, you really get a different feel for each series. So we got Malice, Lady of Lament, Senate Switch, Cosmic Cyclone, Vinland's Mad Marquess Request, CED, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Labyrinth Barrage, these little knights look chibi, and Astrograph Sorcerer. Let's go power through some of these guys, huh? Here we go. Labyrinth Coup Clock. And we have another ultra rare, and this, we move forward to the front, but this was actually placed in a different spot. Interesting, but that's okay. We'll sleeve that up for ultra rares. Runic Allure, Viscount, Runic Smiting Storm, Fiend Griefing, and Book of Eclipse. Good lord, come on, guys. We have Malice, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Imperial Wall, Invader of Darkness, Valence Archer, Quick Booster, and Runic Freezing Curses. So another super rare. I want to look into that. I might be able to play that. That looks pretty fun. Of just not just milling your opponent's deck, but saying they're banished. Back then, it was all about the DD Warrior Lady and Dimensional Fissure. So maybe that's something you might combine. I would have to do some research. Dominator Duke, Fair Welcome Labyrinth, Labyrinth Archfiend, Lilith Lady of Lament, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Bear Blocker, and Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. Halfway through right here, this opens up pretty nicely. Awesome. We got Trap Trick, Scapegoat, Viscount, Reckless Greed, Valence Ninja, Quick Booster, and Labyrinth. Another spilled card. Alright, getting to the second half. We have Malice. We have Anti-Spell Fragrance, Imperial Iron Wall, Cosmic Cyclone. Let's see how Fiend Griefing is a little dented in the corner. So that's the bummer. Quick Booster, Labyrinth Setup. At the same time, wanted to talk to you guys about what's been going on and why we're jumping into new card games. Trap Trick, Fair Welcome Labyrinth, Senate Switch, Labyrinth Chandelier, Bear Blocker, Scion, Valence Archer, and Valence Buster Baron. So it's a mixture between spellcasters, I believe, and machines. Pretty cool. Pretty. Oh good lord. Did I mess up that card? We have Labyrinth Stovey Torby, Dominator Duke, Voltage Viscount, Runic Allure, Valence Ninja, Mizuki Valence Ninja, Quick Booster, and Jerry the Runic Fangs. This is a fusion monster, so I'll have actually separate from our regular monsters. Actually, Am I wrong that fusion actually isn't in your extra deck? I gotta look into that. I messed up somewhere. We have Malice. We have Scapegoat. We have Lilith. Labyrinth Archfiend. There we go. Another Troll and Lock Bird. Runic Smiting Storm and Freelance World Shinra Bonsho. We got Duelist Alliance, Astrograph Sorcerer, Absolute King Back Jack, Reckless Greed. We have Fiend Griefing, Runic Dispelling, and Freelance Genesis Grand Duke. This guy looks pretty awesome, and it's surprising that some of these guys are. This is actually a fusion, so I might have put some other fusions in here. Sorry if I did. I want to at least pull 2 more Ultras, guys. Or maybe 1 more. But give me a collector's. Give me a collector's rare. Collector's rare. Collector's rare. We got Labyrinth Coup Clock, Book of Eclipse, Invader of Darkness, Imperial Iron Wall, Pendulum Switch, Compulsory Evacuation Device, and Moonin, the Runic Wings. And the reason why I said earlier that this is not one of your typical booster pack series, new ongoing series for Yu-Gi-Oh, is because a lot of these cards are OGs. Typically, Yu-Gi-Oh does that to bring back some cards. Because they have a ban list. Yu-Gi-Oh has a ban list rather than a standard format like Pokemon does. And Digimon kind of does the same thing of banning some cards or limiting how many copies you can have for each card. We got Fair Welcome Labyrinth, Runic Slumber, Absolute King Blackjack, Invader of Darkness, Runic Dispelling, Pendulum Switch, and Runic Destruction. Awesome. So there's a lot of Runic spell cards. I probably can make a deck out of it already. See how well I do at a local shop, But like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of. You can play cards from the original series. You can play the oldest cards there are. Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Dark Magician, Celtic Warrior. They're all playable. Whether they compete in today's meta, probably not. But they are available to play, and that's why there's a ban list rather than a like doing a standard or expanded format like Pokemon does. So we got Trap Trick, Dominator Duke, Lilith, Cosmic Cyclone, Pendulum Fusion, Scion the Valence Archer, Valence World Kong Wison. So that's actually 2 Valence cards. Anti-Spell Fragrance. And we got Runic Fountain. And actually, I didn't even notice this, but this is a collector's rare. Awesome. You can tell by the texture, and I hope you guys can see that on the card itself, but the texture is the entire card, and it's kind of textured like a Digimon card. Kind of looks like a matte kind of texture. That's pretty dope. I didn't even notice that because I was actually expecting gold lettering, but I think this is just a rare card to begin with, and we got it. Or no, it's a super card, super rare. So yeah, you're still gonna have a silver or just a regular lettering. That's pretty sick. Caught me by surprise. A Runic Fountain. This is a field spell card. You can activate Runic quick play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn. So you don't even have to take a spot on the field like a trap. And it's already a quick play and it goes right away. Once per turn, if you activate a runic quick spell card, you can target up to 3 runic quick play spells in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. Cool, so you replenish your hand off of this guy, as long as this guy stays on the field. That is great. I am glad we caught that here on camera while we're doing a box opening. Thank you so much for joining me. Voltage Viscount, that is awesome. Imperial Iron Wall, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Runic Smiting Storm, and Duelist Alliance. Awesome, so we did get another one. I am so happy for that. That actually made my day, and I think it made my box too. I wasn't sure. Every time you do a new series, a new card game, you want to make sure that you're not only just making your money back, you could stay competitive. Scapegoat, Labyrinth Kuklok, Runic Allure, Reckless Greed, Nizuki the Vigilance Ninja, Mad Marquess, Runic Flashing Fire. There's been card games where actually it's so hard to make your money back. You're just buying the booster box. That it's always better just to buy the actual cards. But you know, Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the top series. You want to Astrograph Sorcerer. You want to make sure you get your money worth when you're buying a box from them. And being one of the top competitors, you want to top playing card games. It's probably their interest too that they keep you coming in for more. Labyrinth Archfiend, Absolute King Back Jack, Runic Dispelling, Pendulum Fusion, Hojo the Vigilance Warrior. I think this is the first time we got this guy in this box. This guy's throwing out some serious fire sword. And he's bulky. He's gonna wreck you. Last one. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care on your way out. We got Duelist Alliance. Oh, okay, cool. We got a third ultra rare here, and this is Ariane the Labyrinth Servant. Got a few of her. Ultra rares are easy to come by, or more often to come by. So that's pretty sick. Labyrinth Clear, Senate Switch, Scion the Vigilance Archer, Pendulum Switch, and finishing off with Runic Slumber. So there you have it, guys. You do get a lot of ultras, like I said. A case of these guys, you do get a lot of ultra rares here, so it's very well worth it. And you can see out of 12 boxes, I got 4 collector's rare, so they're really hard to come by. But these are the guys that are, you're talking about texture, you're talking about rarities. This is what you're looking for right here, on top of your what is it? We only came across 2 of him in this box. So your Drolling Lockbird is probably the most simplest of cards in this deck, in this series, to come into play. So there you have it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys went down memory lane with me, and I really appreciate you guys sticking out if you made it to the end. Alright guys, take care. See ya.